Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and Wizards did indeed just add, my best estimation, about 80-ish cards to Arena without telling anybody. No announcement whatsoever. They just came out of nowhere. Now, some of these were already there, but also people still didn't know about them. Some of them I do believe were just added recently, especially one that you guys might have noticed in my last couple videos live streamed, which is Hallowed Priest. So everybody thought a Johnny's Primate was cycling out. And this is the standard 2021 queue is like the format that I chose for this deck. So it's showing up, it's added to the deck, it's legal for standard 2021. And as far as I know, I think it's also legal in regular standard. Now let me check on that real quick. There's my standard version of it. Hallowed. Yeah, there it is. I could add it right now to this deck. In fact, I should, if I had any interest in playing standard whatsoever. So this is suddenly standard legal. If you're running a deck like this, you might want to know that. And yet there was no announcement, there was nothing, this card just appeared. And you might think, oh, okay, well, it's got the little A symbol right here. This just means it's an arena card, which means basically it was added as one of the intro decks, welcome decks, tutorial decks, or whatever. Usually they're marked as illegal if they're in the tutorial, but now they don't really have like a tutorial or just a tutorial. They now have like, here, have some intro decks and then play with them and try to get like color achievements or something. I don't know. They literally would not let me run through it because I've already been playing the game long enough. It was just like, here, have the rewards, whatever. So basically with the introduction of this queue is where most of these came in from. But some of these with the little A symbol are actually like they were already in the game. I don't know which are which. So, I mean, maybe I guess Wizards just added like 50 cards to Arena. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a way of having a number. The other thing is you can't really search for this. If I go into here, it'll say, oh, what set? Well, there's no option for none of the above, so it's not in here. I mean, if it was a Jumpstart card, you could find it with that filter, but yeah. Let's get even weirder. Okay, so what set is it really from? It's obviously a reprint. It's probably original Innistrad or something, right? No, it doesn't exist. But yeah, Wizards secretly added it to the game about a week ago with no announcement or anything. It's standard legal, but I assume only on digital, well, especially since the card literally doesn't exist in paper. So I'm going to take that as a hint that it's not legal in paper standard. I mean, if it is, get the Sharpie. I mean, and you guys are going to freak when you see like 5 or 6 of the cards that they added recently. They're not good. Let me just put it that. It's cards that we want to say good riddance to, and they just reprinted them out of nowhere with no warning and no announcement. But that art has never been seen before. Huh. So they paid for art, put it on a card, made a direct drop-in replacement for a Johnny's Primate, made it standard and standard 2021 legal, and then didn't make an announcement about it and nobody knows about it, and you can't find it in search unless you know its name. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that you can't find it except by name. I mean, if you just search like white cards, here it is, because I chose show me all the cards that are legal for this format. But if you were to select all 4 manually, like I'm manually playing 2021, whoopsies, it's gone. In fact, it should be right about here-ish, somewhere in this neighborhood. I mean, if you're going to build a standard deck, the sets you have to look at are the 3 Ravnica ones, M20, Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death, Ikoria, and M21, right? Wrong. You also have to look at the Planeswalker decks. Okay, that's kind of a trick question. I think they even have the same set symbol. They're considered part of the product. They're kind of considered part of the set, despite what the number on the bottom says, but anyway. That's all that you have to look at, though, right? Still wrong. I mean, some of you actually probably answered this correctly if you know, but the welcome decks. I think they just got rid of them, so this might not quite hold true to right now. I'm not even sure if they rolled it out yet. I think they do some kind of welcome package that sends them to Arena, and it's different and whatever, but back in the day, like, I don't know, 2019, I want to say, I think they still had these. It was a fully standard legal deck, believe it or not, of really jank, weird, weak cards, although it varied by year. They were fully standard and legal despite not being in any standard set at all. And they would hand them to new people to get them interested in the game if they're interested. Usually they were free or darn close to it. So there was like a Sphinx, there's usually like a classic Phoenix and that kind of stuff. And some of that, I think, in this game on this list with the A symbol are actually carryovers from the last one to be legal. But I'm not sure if any welcome decks are still legal. It's really actually hard to look that kind of stuff up. But at least at one point it was. So if you're playing like Historic, you'll see the card there even though it's not part of a Historic set, for example. And honestly, as far as I know, the same goes for Pioneer. I mean, that maybe they changed rules, I don't know. A lot of this stuff is a big unknown because, like I said, this went super under the table. So once you added the welcome decks, now you've got all the standard legal cards, right? You should know by now I'm about to say wrong very loudly into the mic. Wrong! You've also got the gift packs. Okay, I think the last one was in 2019. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the Angel, the Brontodon, the Phoenix, the Turtle, the whatever. Even I remember playing with them on Arena. So they had to add them to Arena. They didn't really have a set symbol. I don't know. They probably did. I'm actually wondering what the set symbol was for them. I have them sitting around somewhere. I'll go look later. But in Arena, they just gave them the A. So just because it has an A doesn't mean it was recently added, which is why, like I said before, I don't know the number of cards they just added. But there are cards they just added because, like that, a Johnny's Pridemate clone was not included in the game like 2 weeks ago. It just wasn't there, and now it is. So surprise! And by the way, some of these are going to piss you off because you thought these cards were cycling out, and they've reprinted them in some BS little welcome tutorial deck that's, as far as I know, a welcome deck, but only on Arena because there are no paper welcome decks anymore as of 2020. So it's like, it's an even more obscure product that doesn't even exist because you can't even buy it. And you look up half the cards, you can't find it. So if you build your deck using like Scryfall maybe, but definitely the Gatherer, you will not find these cards. You will not be aware that they exist. And you don't know to look for a card if you don't know to look for the card. So, yeah, be careful how you filter this or you might overlook some of these. Now, most of them are garbage, but there's at least like 5 to 10 that I would look at and say, okay, like especially Unsummon. I mean, it's Unsummon. You might want to put that in your deck. It's a 1-drop. It's a famous card. It's been printed like 30 times. But let's just jump into the cards now that you know the very unusual history of what's going on here. So Charmstray, it was in God, these set symbols, I don't know, one of the Ravnica ones. Now it's in the what should I call it, the Arena set, the Visible set, the Magic, no, the Magic that would be generic, the Mystery set, the Secret set, I don't know, I'll just call it the Arena set. I mean, technically they have no set, but Sanctuary Cat, that's another one. I mean, it's a 1-2 for 1. Some decks might want to run that. I mean, that's not nothing. Tactical Advantage, you'll love this one. Here it is, and here it is. Wait a minute, why didn't it stack those? Because it added them twice to 2 different years worth of Arena, like, tutorial welcome deck things. So, you can see, I own 4 of these, and 3 of these, and they're 2 different cards despite being the same card that do the same thing with the same name from the same set, because they're not technically from the same set. This is just a generic catch-all symbol right here. Confused yet? So then we got River's Favor, which is the same thing. So don't accidentally unlock them twice. It will absolutely let you do that. Also, you already own all these cards. Did I forget to mention that? So a lot of them come in sets of 3, I noticed. So you probably own 3 of the majority of these cards, but some of them are rares, and some of them you only have 1 of because the free decks they give you only had 1 of it. Because, you know, gotta power it down, gotta force people to get into Arena for the first time to spend money and get better wild cards. So Unsummon, that one's huge. You gotta know about that one. I mean, come on. Then we got Compound Fracture. This is another card where I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool art. It even says the artist is Anna Pavleva. And I looked it up, and this card doesn't exist. It's not in the Gatherer anywhere. So they commissioned this artwork, put it on this card digitally, made the card up from scratch. It's never existed before in the game, and then said nothing about it and just threw it into Arena. I mean, this is just so weird to me. Like, I get how it happened, why they did it, but it's still weird. Another one, Raise Dead. Yeah, for 1 mana, you can return target creature card from your graveyard to hand. Yeah. Now, if the card looks familiar, this ain't exactly a new made-up card. It was in the Welcome Deck 2017 edition, by the way, but it was re-added to Arena, I guess. It was an Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Revised, 4th edition, 5th edition, 6th edition, 7th edition, 8th, 9th. The Starter 1999 set, whatever that was. Portal. It was in Portal's Second Age. It was in Conspiracy Take the Crown, really. Oh, okay. And now, you can put it in your black deck right now. Like, this card is sheer utter power. Like, for 1 mana. Like, are you kidding me? As a common. Oh my gosh. So they have slipped in some serious stuff. A lot of this, like I said, is boring vanilla filler jank, but some of it is Raise Dead, you know what I mean? And Unsummoned. Like, this is crazy. Sanitarium Skeleton. You thought we were losing that, right? In the next rotation, yeah, we were going to lose it, which is good because I'm kind of sick of this card. I mean, you got to pay 3. It's one of the more fair recurring ones compared to, like, reassembling Skeleton. But, no, there it is. Typhoid Rats, there you go, a 1/1 Death Toucher for 1. That's always very good to know exists because 1/1 Death Touchers for 1 are a staple defense for certain types of black decks. And green decks, honestly. Then we got Ravaging Goblin. I mean, this one, it's a 1/1 with haste for 1, but it's a goblin. So that actually might be something to put on your radar. By the way, is that not totally Shrek on crack? I mean, come on. Now, like with a lot of these, Raging Goblin was printed like 12 times in the history of Magic. Like, it goes back to 4th edition, so it's not a new card. Just like Shock, I mean, M19 Shock, M20 Shock, M21 Shock, and then we've got this Shock. So M21 wasn't going anywhere anyway, but, well, here's this one. Then we got Storm Strike. That one was from, I don't know, one of those Ravnica sets. Was that the second one? Who cares at this point? And yeah, that one's sticking around past rotation. Whoopsies. Unless, by the way, they do rotate it out, but they were just added now, unless it wasn't added now, and we have no way of knowing. That's another thing that I should probably mention. We have no way of knowing when this was added. So if this was like some kind of 2019 welcome deck, and they only care about the 2020 Arena digital-only welcome decks, this could be cycling out along with its actual one, but we'd have to know when they added it, and like I said, there's no way to know that, which is really weird. So we'll just have to see if this card mysteriously disappears after rotation. You can't make this shit up. So then we got Tin Street Cadet. Whenever it becomes blocked, create a 1/1 red goblin, and it's a 1/1 for 1. Like, this is an absolute beast power card in Goblin Tribal. I mean, it probably ain't going to survive, but it's like, you might be able to bring it back or something. I don't know. I don't play goblins. I don't even play the color red, but this is a damn good card, potentially. Jungle Delver, you thought Ixalan was gone. Boom! There he is. All right. You pay 4, put a counter on it. And Proliferate, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it's not unplayable. It's close, though. Stony Strength, another one they thought was rotating. Wrong! Still there. So you get the 1-cost instant speed, drop a counter, untap it, and basically ambush block something when they thought you were wide open. Nasty, nasty defensive card for 1. And it's back. We are not rotating this and not losing it. Unless we are. Like I said, unless we are, I don't know. I don't know when this was added. That A symbol could mean anything. Then we got, this one's huge. Fencing Ace. I mean, yeah, it's M20, so okay, whatever. But, I mean, there it is again. It's one of my top 10 favorite cards in the entire history of the game. I love it. Then we got Hallowed Priest, of course. And Impassioned Orator. Thought we were going to lose this card. Wrong! And then this goes really well with Hallowed Priest, which is literally just a Johnny's Pride mate as a 1/1 instead of a 2/2. So the fact that we're keeping this and this means the entire deck is still viable. Out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. Unless this is rotating out. We don't know. I'm getting sick of saying that. Just pretend I say it every time. Knight's Pledge, M19. Nope, just kidding. Still going to be here, maybe. Then Moorland Inquisilator. That's what it is. Whatever it says. Double Axe Guy with the neat hat. Actually, he'd probably styling in that. I like his get-up. I should do a D&D miniature like that. Anyway, he's sticking around. Then we got Pacifism. Oh, boy. I mean, it was Ikoria, whatever. Then we got Shrine Keeper. I mean, it's literally a vanilla 2/2, but it is double devotion. So, I mean, like I said, a lot of these aren't nothing, but they're close. Then we got Glint, +3 in Hexproof. I mean, for 2, that's kind of nice. I think we have like a distinctly better version of that, but I'm not 100% sure. Then we got Sworn Guardian. I mean, a 1/3 Merfolk for 2. Nobody cares about Merfolk. I don't think they'll be playable. I don't think they're playable right now, to be honest, let alone after rotation, but who knows? Maybe they live on Zendikar. I have no idea. I'm sure everybody out there knows but me, but welcome to the Desolator Doesn't Know the Lore channel. Then we got Waterkin Shaman. This is kind of cool. Whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield, does anybody play that in blue? It gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So it's just end of turn. It's only a 2/1. It's kind of crap, but it's interesting. It's not flying itself. It's an elemental, though. Cruel Cut. Destroy target creature with power 2 or less, but for 2. That's kind of garbage. God, can I read? Krovikan Scoundrel, a vanilla human rogue 2/1 for 2. That's throwaway trash. Then we got Malakar Cullblade. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on it. That is a crazy good card. Unlikely Aid, which was in Ikoria, so whatever. And then here it is too. Yay. Wait, is that? Oh, they went to the old artwork. It's kind of weird. Usually go to the most recent. Whatever. Then we got... Well, actually, that might indicate that at the time they stuck this artwork on it because this was added earlier, which means it's cycling out. But also it's not because the Ikoria one isn't cycling out. Oh, this is a shitstorm, isn't it? All right, so Vampire Opportunist. This is actually a pretty good card, believe it or not. Mostly in draft. Not in constructed, but, here it is again. Great. Then we got Goblin Tunneler. Real big on goblins. You might be able to pull off Goblin Tribal just with, like, the free deck they give you. Just saying, add a couple things to it, but, But yeah, target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked, and then you lose him, and he's not very good. But can't be blocked. I mean, it's not unheard of in a goblin deck. Nest Robber, that's just a 2-1 for 2 with haste. I mean, that's just solid. So yeah, there it is. Back from Ixalan, you can play it again. Feral Roar, I mean, there's Harambe, obviously. It's just a sorcery speed, Titanic Growth, but still, I mean, 4-4 for 2 is pretty good. We actually don't have a whole lot like that post-rotation, I don't think. Then we got Elysian Caryatid. I mean, this is crazy. It taps for mana, and then if you control a power of 4 or greater, you can tap for 2 mana. It wasn't going anywhere because it was just in Theros Beyond Death, but here it is again, so it was almost significant. It's a significant card, but I think these two should rotate together, I think. Hard to say. Then we got Rabid Bite. I mean, that card's amazing. M19, M20, so then it's in Arena as well. Okay, I mean, it would have rotated or whatever, but now it won't, so that's good to know. That's actually pretty significant 2 cost right there. We got a lot of fight cards right now, though, so I don't know. Treetop Warden, it's an elf, it's 2-2 for 2 vanilla, whatever. Then we got Woodland Mystic. I mean, it's a mana dork for 2. That's not nothing. Angel of Vitality, this is crazy. So M20, you thought we were going to finally lose this dumb card. Nope. Nope. Still around, and somehow I unlocked the style for both of these. I didn't think that's how that worked. I guess if they share the art, and then there's something about legality in sharing art, like the art indicates the legality, or if they're gonna show up in a search. Arena is so weird, and they just made it weirder with this. Armored Whirl Turtle. As far as I know, that's a new card, so I mean, it's a 0-5 for 3 without hexproof. It's not even that good, but you guys know I love a good blue turtle, which is why I don't like this one. It's not good. But Cloudkitten Seer, okay, that's huge. That is absolutely huge, and that's an M20 card. Boom, still legal. That is huge. I mean, there's no understating how huge that is. This is one of the most played cards at one time. Warden of Eros. Oh my God, read the card, Des. Warden of Evo's Isle. Flying is reduced by 1, M20. Whoop, there it is. So once again, M20 was cycling out. Here we go. So, I mean, that might single-handedly, by itself, make blue-white flyers still a viable deck. I mean, they didn't just throw these in and they're just like, whatever. Like, some of these are going to be format warping. And the funny thing is, because these are the welcome decks on Arena, well, and some of these cards don't exist in paper, so good luck finding one. They literally don't exist. I don't think that any of these are legal in paper unless they were already legal in paper, and that's the reason they were added to Arena. So, will you be able to build a standard deck on Arena and then go take it to F&M? No, not if it has this card in it post-rotation. Necessarily. It's more like if you can find it, but then if you can find it and it was printed in 8th edition, then well, it's still not legal, even though it looks like it's legal on Arena. They have to do something about this. This is too confusing. So then we've got Water Knot. It's a pin down. Great. That's back. Whatever. It's actually a pretty good card. That's better than Capture Sphere. What else? I don't know. I think it's the best blue pin down we have right now, actually. Pretty significant. Winged Words. Hello. It costs 2 and draws 2 if you control a flyer. That we thought that was leaving. Wrong. Here it is. Still there. That is insanely significant. Then we've got Mardu Outrider. You got to discard a card, but it's a 5/5 for 3 double devotion. Yeah. Do I need to say it? That this is an insane card for like 5 different decks? Like, holy shit. Then we've got Murder. I mean, it's a pretty bread and butter card, but I guess these were the only 2 we had, so it was cycling out. Now it's not. Except that that's the old artwork, so maybe it is cycling out. Depends when it was added. And like I said, no way to know. Savage Gorger, that's a pretty damn good card. I mean, it keeps stacking counters on it. And, yeah, there it is again. Not necessarily rotating out. Then we got Scathe Zombies. I mean, it's a really shitty vanilla zombie. Then we got Burn Bright. I don't like this card because it's a +2 across the board at instant speed. Kind of thought we were going to lose it until it was in M21, but then surprise, here it is again, so that's great. Goblin Gathering, that's huge, because we thought this was rotating. Nope, there it is, unless it is. Herloon Minotaur, that's kind of crap. Molten Ravager, I mean, it's a fire-breathing creature. That just, by itself, should be on anybody's radar if they're playing red. They've got Raid Bombardment. That's interesting, because that doesn't have an equivalent at all. Let's see, whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less attacks, it deals 1 damage. Oh my god. 1 damage to the player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. So it's basically Cavalcade, but a little bit more generous. And it's also an enchantment. I did not see this one when I was adding it. I cannot believe that they effectively reprinted Cavalcade. That pisses me out. This is going to be the first card where they ban it and people are going to be like, what? What card is this? Like, seriously, if they ever end up banning this, they'll say, oh, we're banning Raid Bombardment. And people say, the card from Rise of the Eldrazi, which is the only time it was actually printed in paper, you're banning that from Standard when it doesn't exist in Standard, is not legal in Standard. Wait, it is on Arena? Wait, Arena has a different version of Standard than actual Standard? There's two versions of Standard? What the hell is going on here? Which, I mean, not if you saw this video. That's why I'm glad you're watching it. So yeah, this is going to be a can of worms. That's why I really wanted to make this video and why I put a very sensational title on it, because I cannot understate how batshit crazy this is. So Colossal Majesty, I mean, draw a card, recurring, that card's crazy. It's back. I mean, you probably thought it already rotated. It's M19. No, it's back. Put it back in your deck right now. I mean, power 4 or greater, that's literally a thing that they just printed. Generous Stray, that card's awesome. So, you know, whatever. They could reprint that. I won't get mad. Wildwood Patrol, a 4/2 Trampler for 3 when Trample as a mechanic was a recently printed thing, so keep this card in mind. Then we got Leonin Warleader. Leonin frickin' Warleader! Like, what the hell? And there it is! M19, he back. Now, I thought he was already reprinted in something in Standard, but maybe it was caught up in the rotation, because anything from the rotated sets that doesn't have a duplicate already printed, wait, could that even exist? I don't know. Anyway, if that exists, it wouldn't be on this list. Let me put it that way. It'll look like it was gonna cycle out, but I set the deck on Standard 2021 because it was easier to find these. Anyway, if that didn't make sense, it literally didn't make sense to me either. So, alrighty then. ETB Scry 2, who cares? Whatever. Sleep. Okay. I never wanted to see this card again in my life. This card pissed me off almost more than any other card. Some of them just barely beat it, like Scarab God and Ugin and a couple others. Probably Liliana and Nissa. But this is just pay for, win the game. Pay for, swing all out, win the game. And you get 2 full swings wide open at the opponent for 4 mana. This is disgusting. This card is a disgrace to the game, and it's back. Fantastic. Then we got Skeleton Archer. This is a core set staple right here, but yeah, I'm 21. Who cares? Nobody cares. Goblin Gang Leader, another Goblin card. When it enters battlefield, create 2 1/1s. I've seen people flicker this. It's really annoying. Trash Master, he's back. M19, he's back. He's a rare. Cool, great. Baloth Pack Hunter. All right. I mean, it's kind of neat. Then we got Prized Unicorn. Oh boy. All creatures able to block it do, which means that everything else gets through. Yep. Absolute dominating power card from M20. We thought it was going to rotate out, which is, I'd say it's a shame, but I've never seen this card played ever. Well, it's back. Then we got Rumbling Baloth. It's a 4/4 for 4 vanilla beast, so that's kind of garbage. World Shaper. That came out of nowhere. Okay. I mean, it's a weird land thing, but Zendikar Rising might have like a landfall mechanic, so you might want to keep an eye on this. Let's keep going. Angelic Reward. This, I think, never was a real card. Yeah, actually, these are 2 different versions of 2 different editions. So one of them should survive rotation. But yeah, it's a 5-drop aura. It only gives 3/3 and flying. And is, you know, kind of really investing 5 into something kind of fragile, but whatever. Then we got Bond of Discipline. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. I can't believe this card never took off and nobody played it. I mean, Sleep is 1 less. 5 mana and 4 mana are pretty far apart from each other. But anyway, you get a second shot at it because here it is. So Confront the Assault. Cast a spell only if a creature is attacking you, and then you create 3 1/1 tokens at instant speed. That's kind of neat. I'd rather just play Raise the Alarm instead of pay 5. But, oh, here it is. Oh, that's right. This card, I think, never actually existed in the game. So here it is twice. Whatever. Oh, no. If it's here twice, that means it was printed in paper at least once, I think. I don't know. I'm deeply confused by this. Then we got Dominaria Sarah Angel. We've got Arena Set Angel, and then Arena Set Angel again. Okay. I forgot that there was one of those in the list. Then we got Spiritual Guardian and Spiritual Guardian. Neat. ETB for Life. I mean, still kind of crap, but I don't know. Do people play Spirits anymore? Probably not. Soulblade Jin. Okay. This is a popular reprint. This is a real card in paper. We're kind of flirting with what's real and what's not in this video, but it's kind of cool, you know. It goes wide. It's like super prowess. I mean, it's not unplayable. It's just a little much for 5 with only 3 toughness, but okay. Windstorm Drake. Okay. Other creatures with flying get +1/+0. Thought it was rotating. Wrong. There's like 4 of these blue-white flying cards in just blue. I mean, you could just run just blue flyers at this point. But yeah, I think they have officially propped up that deck, and I wonder why they did it. I guess they just thought flying would be a cool thing to do for blue, because blue's garbage otherwise. So that's the welcome deck they put in the tutorial. I don't know. Sangir Vampire, I mean, we all know that's a pretty good card. That was, I think, alpha when it was printed. So, yeah, this one actually, so it's on the list as being legal, even though the first card it was legal from was Jumpstart. That's the Jumpstart symbol there. But this is only included because this is included. So this they added. This came with it by accident because they added this. But this doesn't imply that the set it was in made it legal, if that makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. But Soul Hunter Rakshasa, hell yeah, dude. The Rakshasas in XL3, though, right? Come on, where's my XL players at? Those things piss me off. I went and spent so much money, so much gold on Anti-Magic Field just so I could drop it into that one town where they attack you and then run up and cut their heads off with a halberd, which they still had like 100 hit points. Rakshasas, though, seriously. They absorb all spells you hit them with. I hate those things. Anyway, this is a 5/5 for 5 rare, so I mean, you gotta pay attention to the rares. It can't block, but when it enters battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, it deals 1 damage to target opponent for each swamp you control. Okay, so it's Grey Merchant Jr. That might be good to know in a Black Devotion deck. I mean, this would be the first one I reach for. Might include a 1-of, but that's a lot of unblockable damage, just saying. They got Reduced to Ashes. That's an M20 card that's also in an arena set. This one will piss you off. Here we go. You ready for this one, everybody? Gigantosaurus. M19, already cycled out, right? Wrong! Put it in your standard or standard 2021 deck right this second because it is now legal. The 10/10 for 5 with 5 devotion is back in the game for God only knows what duration of time. At least a year. Oh, at least a year and 2 months, actually, come to think of it. Fantastic! I'm so happy to see this card back. It totally wasn't a disastrous mistake that everybody said good riddance to already. Thanks for re-adding it, Arena. Sentinel, Spider, Vigilance, Reach, Nobody Cares, Angelic Guardian. I think this one was only legal because it was in the gift pack. But it was in the gift pack with that symbol, I think. Was this even the card that was... you know what? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, anything that attacks gains indestructible. That's worth being on your radar. 6 is a little high, but still. Spider-Man Commander. Okay. I mean, this one... I thought it was in something. What, like... Shadows, maybe? I don't know. I'm going by his outfit. I don't know. But they're saying it was Arena, but I know I've seen this card, so I don't know. It's an interesting card. Some of these 6+s are just unplayable. I mean, this is kind of neat. Whatever. M19, M20, here it is, Arena. Cool. Riddle Master. I think this was in one of the welcome decks in 2019, actually. So M19, M20, boom, there it is. Bad Deal, M21, and then they felt the need to reprint it again. That's weird. Nightmare. Hell yeah, dude. You guys know I love this card. This was the front card in the welcome deck for a very long time, if I remember correctly. At least recently it was. So yeah, his power and toughness each equal the number of swamps. So you could go Black Devotion with like a quantity of swamps back end and actually have it be a reasonable deck, maybe. I mean, I still think 6 is a little high for this, but it is flying, you know, I'm just saying. Mortal Phoenix, this is the card from one of the welcome decks recently, but not recently enough to be legal here, I think it was 2019, but it's also in Arena now, so okay. If it dies, return to its owner's hand, you still got to pay 6 again. It's one of the more fair Phoenixes out there. Absolutely dead-ass worthless. Spoiler alert, this card was about 100 of the foils in my 400 foil bulletproof vest in the video that I'm going to upload eventually. So that's how valuable they are on a buy list. Nobody wanted them, so I shot them. Inescapable Blaze. People play this right now. I mean, that's all I gotta say about that, and here it is. So, I have pretty strong evidence that this one was added recently, too, by the way. Affectionate Indrik, that's back, which wasn't even an Ixalan card in the first place, but, oh, there it is. Epic Proportions, now that's interesting. So it's +5/+5 and has Trample, and it's Flash Speed. Yeah, it costs 6, which is gonna keep anybody from playing it, but, I mean, that's still pretty damn good, just saying. But, I think we have a 6-drop that gives +20/+20. Yeah. Goring Ceratops, that's an interesting one. People didn't really play this unless it was in Heavy Dinosaur Tribal because 7 is a lot, but it's back, so, I mean, it's back. Then we got Windreader Sphinx. I think this was one of the welcome deck cards too, and they brought it back. Makes sense. Whatever a creature card with flying attacks, you may draw a card. That is damn good, but 7 is a little much for the average flying deck. Demon of Loathing, Flying Trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, the player sacks a creature. Yeah, I think this is in one of the welcome decks if I remember correctly. Siege Dragon. Okay. 5/5 for 7. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all walls your opponents control. Okay. That's such a like alpha beta thing to do. Whenever Siege Dragon attacks, if defending player controls no walls, it deals 2 damage to each creature without flying that player controls. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, and it's defending player too. Damn, I mean, it's still not worth it for 7, but it's a vicious card. Then Rampaging Brontodon. This I know was Gift Pack 2019. I know that because I sold them and they're worth like a lot on a buy list. So yeah. Oh wait, no, wait a minute. Do I have the right card? Because I thought it was the Destroy Enchantment. No, I remember having Trample. Now I'm calling it into question. I'm not sure actually. But what I'm sure of is I got the count wrong because I didn't remove all the lands. Ignore what I said about it being 60 to 80 cards. Let's get a little closer to. I don't know. It's 160 divided by 2, but some of these are triple, some of them are solo. Yeah, it still is kind of 80. Okay, whatever. I take back my take back. But yeah, I trample, and then whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each land you control. Hello. I mean, that's now I'm back to thinking this was like the $2-3 card on a buy list that I pulled 100 of from 100 gift packs and sold them on a buy list a long time ago for a pile of money. So yeah, I mean these are all the cards. The Wizards didn't make an announcement. I mean, what more can I say? This is just the weirdest damn thing I've seen lately. So just thought you guys should be aware of these. Now you've seen them all. They'll all be in your head for deck building. And otherwise, be careful how you filter the search to build the deck. And you're probably going to go immediately revise some of your standard decks now that you know that a mystery set just released without them saying anything about it. That's the big thing. I mean, this happened at the same time the 2021 Q was added to the game. So, okay, something changed. Let's rebuild the deck. Oh, look, the card. The problem is nothing should have released or happened. It was just, oh, we made a new Q. Cool. Arena update. Oh, and FYI, if you run any standard deck anywhere ever, you might want to consider these 80 or so cards that are just added to the game recently that we didn't tell you about. Like, you didn't even know that there was cards added to the game and that you might want to, revise some of your standard decks because there might be better cards in it. It's unreal that they did this. It's so unusual. If I were them, I would have excluded them from standard legality. But, I mean, if you're going to give people a free intro deck, obviously the solution was for new players, you can't give them all illegal cards and say, good luck, start from 0. But build them out of cards that are already in standard, for God's sake. But I think standard is so high-powered and confusing, and there's so few low-powered, easy-to-understand vanilla cards that they had to add them. And also, they didn't want to just give people absolute beast power decks, so they put in stuff that costs 6 or 7 that's, like, good. But, I mean, 6 or 7, are you really going to play that? So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with how they did this. All I know is you better watch this video. So, thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll see you guys next video.